At this moment, you are a 6-year-old child. There is no level up here. There is only stay alive. Outside the mouth of this damp limestone cave, the wind is screaming at 60 miles per hour. Your bed isn't a memory foam mattress. It's a pile of dried grass and matted fur. Most people imagine Ice Age children as miniature adults, silent, stoic survivors who spent every waking second shivering in primitive fear. We picture a world of gray shadows and brutal, humorless survival. But here's what most people don't realize. Even when the world was ending in ice, children were still children. And their toys? They weren't just mindless playthings. They were survival manuals disguised as fun. For decades, archaeologists have been finding miniature stone tools at prehistoric sites across Europe and the Levant. For a long time, the experts were completely baffled. Was there a secret tribe of tiny people we didn't know about? Or were these just practice pieces made by clumsy, unskilled adults who couldn't handle full-size flint? Science finally gave us the answer, and it's much more human than we expected. These weren't mistakes, they were toys. Imagine Ice Age Legos, but instead of colorful plastic bricks that hurt your feet when you step on them, these were razor-sharp shards of flint. Archaeological evidence from sites like the Magdalenian culture shows us that parents were crafting starter kits for their kids. In this world, you weren't playing house or doctor. You were playing don't get eaten by the short-faced bear. These miniature hand axes were perfectly functional. A 5-year-old would sit by the fire, mimicking their father's grip, practicing how to skin a rabbit, or perhaps just a scrap of leather, to build the muscle memory that would one day keep the entire tribe from starving. But here is the mystery documentary twist that gives me chills every time. Take a look at this. A small clay figurine of a cave bear found in what is now the Czech Republic. It's 25,000 years old. Using modern forensic scanning, researchers found something frozen in time: childhood fingerprints. These weren't sacred ritual objects kept on a high shelf for the gods. These were objects squished, poked, and handled by small, muddy hands. Imagine a mother or an uncle sitting by the dim, flickering light of a tallow lamp, sculpting a woolly rhino out of wet earth to distract a crying child while a blizzard rages outside. It's the prehistoric equivalent of a distraction toy, so the parents can finally get some sleep. It's basically, here Grok, play with the rhino and stop pulling the wolf dog's tail. Some things truly never change. We have to remember the atmosphere of that time. This wasn't a sun-drenched playground. It was a world of deep, encroaching darkness. The night belonged to predators that could swallow a child whole in an instant. This is where play became a shield. Anthropologists believe that these toys, the dolls, the animal carvings, the tiny spears, offered something even more important than physical skill. They offered control. In a world where you are the smallest thing in a very big, very cold forest, holding a toy version of your predator makes that predator less scary. You can kill the clay lion. You can hunt the wooden mammoth. It was the first form of therapy, a way to process the terror of the Ice Age through the safety of imagination. But don't get it twisted. It was still a tough gig. There were no participation trophies in the Paleolithic. If your toy spear didn't work, you didn't eat. Today we look at these ancient pieces of stone and clay, and we call it a primitive life. But look at your own hands. Look at the children in your life. The impulse to shrink the world down into a toy, to practice for the dangers of tomorrow by playing today, is the very thing that kept our species alive. Every time a child picks up a stick and sees a sword, or molds a piece of Play-Doh into a monster, they are echoing a ritual that began in the flickering shadows of the Great Ice. You aren't just watching a story about the past. You are the living result of 1,000 generations of children who played their way into survival. We are still those same survivors. We just have much better heaters now. If you found this journey into our ancestors' frozen world fascinating, hit that subscribe button to join our tribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of the past. It helps us keep the fire burning. Do you think that our modern obsession with survival video games is just a high-tech version of those toy spears? A way for our ancient nervous systems to keep practicing the instinct for staying alive? Let me know your theories in the comments below.